So thank you so much for joining me today, Gwen. I'm really excited about talking with you about Mary Pender Greene's book and her really creative concepts, right? Developing your virtual personal board of directors. So I'd like to introduce you. First of all, this is Gwen Butler. Gwen Butler is an AASECT certified sex therapist, senior adjunct professor, a private practice owner, and a student college counselor. Gwen is also an author of a book called Indulge. Thank you so much for joining me, Gwen.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So the first question I want to ask you is, what was the process like for you to form a virtual personal board of directors?
It was so easy. When Mary started to really outline what she meant by that, or her definition of a virtual board of directors, which was actually before the book came out, because she was already talking about it, I realized that I had already had this sort of virtual circle of people that I would make constant connections with whenever I needed to. And so when the concept of hers was crystallized, I was like, I have it already. And it was great. It's really nice. And then it was just a matter of pulling more people in.
That's terrific. That's absolutely terrific. And I also like the fact that you had experience with it before the book came out. Like, she had that concept and you talked with her about it. And you also had some of that kind of came in through your own life and experience. That's terrific. Did anything surprise you about your virtual personal board of directors?
If there's anything that does surprise me, did and continues to surprise me, is that not everyone knows each other.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone knows that I'm connected. So I'll say this, I'm connected to some people as my virtual board, and other people who I'm connected with will say, have you heard of so-and-so? Because I see you're connected on LinkedIn, and I'll say, yes. And for me, it's a yes, of course, because in my mind, well, they're part of my board, so I'm definitely connected.
Right.
But I realize that a lot of folks don't know each other on my board. And it's, I don't know if that's good, bad, and it doesn't really, I don't know that but that does surprise me.
Yeah.
And not all in one place. It's definitely scattered. It's a scattered board.
And I'm just thinking about that. It sounds like that would be a really great way to have like just a tremendous amount of difference and expertise in different areas.
Yes. And that, I'm glad you're saying that, because scattered could sound negative, but in fact it's not, because I think that by design, the virtuality of it means that I can pull from anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere, at any time, from any location. Right? Absolutely. By any means, Zoom, phone, text, email.
Absolutely. Yes. So that brings me to our next question. How has having a virtual personal board of directors impacted your career?
My career and my personal life, I have to say both. I can call on whoever is on that board for whatever expertise information that I need at any given time. And it's really nice because we maintain a relationship, even though it's not maybe the person I speak with every day. But because we have a solid relationship, I know that I can pull on them and they can pull on me whenever they need something or I need something. And the accessibility of my board is really quite impressive.
Right.
We're all busy people. We're all doing things. And I pull for professional reasons, for personal purposes.
Terrific. And I know part of it is like having the actual people, but then also being able to think about like, how would they deal with this, right? So it's like you kind of have that ongoing learning and growth. I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, and there are places where I'm not an expert in, and that's why I have them, right? If I need a finance person, I know who to call. If I need an attorney, because I know who to call. If I need a physician, I know who to call. If I need a minister, I know who to call, right? There's so many different areas of expertise.
Sure. Absolutely. And how is having a virtual personal board of directors impacted your decision-making process, like your professional decision-making process, if you feel it has?
So I like to believe that folks at the end of the day know what it is that they need to do or decisions
Yeah.
that they need to make, my board will push me into the place of, yes, that's the thing to do, or no, that's definitely not the thing to do. So sometimes I will approach them with, I have no idea what to do. But most times I will approach them and say, here's the issue, and these are my thoughts. And they can give me pros and cons for both. They can say absolutely yes or absolutely no. Or, they just really provide a platform for more critical thinking, actually for both of us. So they tip the scale, right?
Yeah.
The virtual board tips the scale into the direction of, okay, yes or no.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What would you say is the single educational piece of learning that's impacted you the most about Mary's book, Creative Mentorship and Career Building Strategies, How to Build Your Virtual Personal Board of Directors?
I cannot go on this life on my own. This is not a me thing. This is not I. There are resources and people, and the connections and the expertise in those connections is so important. Relationship is key to my success, to your success, to the success of whatever plan there is in the world. It requires relationships and people and meaningful conversations. And that is the single most lesson that I've learned from Mary's book, that it takes relationships and people and networking and connections. It matters. It does matter. You can't go at this alone. That's one. Two is, you asked me for one, I'm gonna give two. Maintaining a spirit of teachability, of learnability, teachability. We're always learning. I'm 48. I don't think that I've learned everything about there is to life at all. I'm still learning, and I want to continue to be in the spirit of learning. And I think that provides more of a platform for me to gain more knowledge and to develop and grow and do more things, contribute more. So those are the things that I've taken from her book that are super key for me.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And finally, Gwen, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I have to say that Mary's concept of having a virtual board of directors is brilliant. And there's a word, and it doesn't come to mind now, but it's fitting for every generation and every year. As technology's changed, as relationships have changed, it fits for every single age group, design. It really, really does. And it has impacted consciously and unconsciously for me, the people that I surrounded myself with. Even my personal circle of girlfriends, we are such a dynamic people of differences. Lawyers, we're attorneys, we're lawyers, we're doctors, we're creatives, we're fitness people, we're sex therapists. And these are my girls, these are the people that I hang out, and so even my intimate circle is like my board. And it's kind of like a circle within a circle within a circle with and it just there's a hierarchy. I mean, her concept is relevant. It's relevant, and it's moving and dynamic, and it's perfect. And it was brilliant. And I'm so glad that I have her on my board. I pull from her when I need to. So yeah.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for this, Gwen. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Soon. Okay.
Bye-bye.
So we